call, please.
Tony? Here. Nancy? Here. Vivian? Here. Brad?
Here.
Jan? Here. Paul?
Here. All right, we marked off. See, and we have down to the consent agenda, and we have stricken items C and I. We already had that, didn't we?
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
Any discussion? Again, consent agenda being voted on with, as amended with striking C and I.
In the meeting, I heard something that y'all were wanting to vote on those separately. Are y'all wanting to add that?
Just want to do that immediately after the rest of this portion.
Okay.
Okay. All right, again, to restate, we are approving the consent agenda, payment of those bills with the exception of items C and items I. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Tony?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Vivian?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Jan?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes. All right, we'll go to item C, Office Depot, full set of ink toners, black, blue, yellow, magenta from Mayor. And this is $348.25. Somebody's phone is ringing. It's the mayor's phone, right? This is my mother, y'all. They're just got to bear with me just a moment, please. She would not call me. Hello? Hello? Mother, I have a council meeting. Yes, you need some. I'll make my mistake.
It's okay.
That's better than bad news.
Actually, the way she said it, she said, well, I didn't want you. And I thought, well, that didn't. Not the way I wanted to hear it.
Does that mean she made one of them butt
She
calls?
but no, that's right.
You sure she wasn't just mistaken now?
All right. Any wish on the Office Depot ink
May I
toner?
ask a question, Mayor?
Certainly.
I would like to see if you can give us proof where it stated that you had permission to take home a computer from the council that belonged to the town council. I've checked my records and I cannot find anything, so could you please furnish us with proof of that?
I imagine I can. Do any other council members remember the conversation?
Not computer, printer. Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I will definitely try to find that for you, Vivian.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we pay the Office Depot full set of ink toner, totaling $348.25.
I'll second it.
Very least, we may have to go back to the recorded portion, but we'll find it. Motion is second that we pay this bill of $348.25 for ink. Any other discussion?
I just have, before we go any further, Cheryl, do you remember how long it's been since we had ordered ink before, by any chance?
I ordered for the mayor and Carol, so for the mayor?
Yeah.
or August?
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Tony?
No.
Nancy?
No.
Vivian?
No.
Brad?
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul?
Yes. Baines and Terry, professional services, $775. Is that bill in here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This should be the last one in the invoices.
Okay, that would be helpful. Thank you. You're good.
I would like to know why you met with him on 9/11/2018 when we fired him March the 8th, 2018. He was not our attorney.
Because I continue to have the need to consult with with an attorney on town business. And I was looking out for the best interest of the people of the town.
Is this not the time that we had another attorney that the contract was not signed for 45 days, that you could not have used him?
I'm not sure if those timelines overlapped or not. I know that attorney would not speak with us until he was able to come in and meet with us and have us agree to the contract and sign it.
Why didn't we do that?
I mean, it was 45 days, it was laying on your desk,
What was laying on my desk?
the contract, to be approved.
We had a meeting set up, Vivian, for that to occur.
I was not aware of any meeting
I was
that
not
we were
either.
having with Mr. Cox.
Not at that particular time.
Maybe my timelines are confused then.
Well, I'm gonna say this, if we needed some type of professional services where the town was concerned, and we do not have a full-time attorney, we have to have an attorney to give us an opinion, a professional opinion. So I will make the motion to pay Mr. Terry for his bill, and it is laid out on 3 different dates. And until we hire an attorney full-time to be our council attorney on all matters, we should be able to have an attorney, whichever attorney that is available that can give us some kind of an opinion if we need it. If y'all look at this, this isn't even 3 hours. One time was 36 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes, 36 minutes, and an hour and 15 minutes. We have to do what's best for the town, and that's my opinion.
But he charged $250 at each meeting for $250.
Well, I'm gonna say this, I didn't get to vote on firing him, I was out deathly ill.
I was
So-
not here. I was out of town.
Well, I didn't get a chance to vote, was not aware of any of that situation. So as a council member that was not aware of anything going on, and I thought I was passing a kidney stone, instead my colon was fixing to rupture.
I'm sorry that we're not discussing
We have
that.
got to have some kind of legal representation if we're having to pay them by the minutes. And this is not much time. I'll make a motion to pay this for the services rendered that we needed.
Second.
Okay. Is there any other
As far as discussion, we voted to hire Eric Toxey in July. I see no good reason why he was not, that we did not meet with him, that we did not sign his contract, that we did not utilize him. After 45 days, he pretty much washed his hands of us and set us for looking for an attorney again. As far as consulting with an attorney for anything legal, there have been a number of attorneys that have expressed interest in working for the town. And in addition, we always have the League of Municipalities that we pay an annual membership to, and they have been very responsive when we've had questions. So, as far as the last entry here, the $312.50, that was for the workshop meeting. And if you'll go back and listen to it on the recording, when the mayor introduced John Terry and gave him the floor, he said, "I asked John Terry to come for my benefit." That's all my discussion.
Well, when I viewed the tape that Cheryl Ivy did, I couldn't understand what Mr. Terry said. Could any of y'all? So, I'm just wondering, what was he here for? Can anybody tell me? I mean, we're using taxpayers' money. We should be using it wisely.
That didn't seem, nope, I'm not going to there. I'm not gonna get drugged down to it. I have records, dates, and times where I called Mr. Toxey's office. I would say no fewer than 15 times over the course of 3.5, 4 weeks. On a number of occasions, reached out to Cheryl, the clerk here, and explained that I'm having trouble getting in touch with Mr. Toxey, that I can't get him to return my phone call. I needed information, and I reached out to an attorney that I knew, number one, would not only return my phone call, but had knowledge about what I was needing. My role here is to protect the town. That should be your role as well. I didn't call him to ask about my phone bill. I called him to ask him about things at this town to help these people and take care of this city. We can sit up here and continue to squabble if it's something Paul did. We want to argue about that. Let's argue about what Paul did, what Paul's doing. The bottom line is Paul's here every day doing what Paul does. And Paul thought he needed to call this attorney, and he did. In the best interest of the city. Now, for those of you that are in politics know exactly why I'm saying that. I acted, in my opinion, in the best interest of the town. So, any other discussion?
Could you not have called the League of Municipality and talked to that attorney?
I called the League of Municipalities a couple of times. Absolutely. I did
During this
utilize them.
To discuss this, that you talked to Mr. Terry about?
They did not have any of the documents that we were needing to discuss.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Tony?
No.
Nancy?
No.
Vivian?
No.
Brad?
Yes.
Jan?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes. Just those of you that, that everyone here needs to know that this will escalate to a lawsuit at some point. Approval of 9/13/18 workshop council minutes, 9/20 and 10/2 special workshop minutes, as well as October 11th workshop council minutes.
Make a motion that we approve all these minutes with the adjustments that we discussed in the workshop.
I'll second it.
Any comment? Roll call, please.
Tony?
Yes.
Nancy?
I'll abstain, because I didn't hear what the changes were.
Vivian?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Jan?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes. We need to approve the agenda with the changes that we have made. We've put in an executive session between items 4, 5, and 6. I keep trying to say 4. We have added quite a list to new business. Them running down through I have been running through,
Old business through N, new business to C.
yes, thank you.
I'll make a motion of that.
I'll second that. Any discussion?
What was the new item you added to new business? I got the.
New business,
Personnel.
personnel-related motions.
Oh, okay.
It's the, well, you got a list, I think you do anyway. Sure.
That must be what Tony showed me. She said she didn't make a copy.
Here you go, we'll share that right there. Any other discussion?
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Tony,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Vivian,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. Thank you. All right. With that, that's time to go to the executive session. I make a motion, we go to executive session.
We need to state the reason for the executive.
About personnel, and 15
That'll be fine.
minutes? Okay. All right. Do you need a second on that?
I'll make the second.
All right, let's do it. Thank you. Okay. Back in session at 7:02 by my watch. All right. Thank you for your patience while we went out and did that. It was very much needed, and we got some things done. That's good. Okay, department business. We'll start with the building inspector.
Last month, I had 14 building miscellaneous permits issued, did 52 scheduled building inspections through the new construction. Collected over $4,000 in permits and miscellaneous fees. And of course, also, I had 2 stop work orders this last month. And then typical inspection run around and check several sites with contractors to verify that they got business license and or permits as needed.
Anybody got any questions for George?
Thank you.
Thank you,
for
sir.
the good work.
Police department.
For the month of October, we had 3 arrests from warrants, 35 assists in contact, 37 calls in corporate limits, 16 calls in jurisdiction, 11 calls out of jurisdiction, 2 calls to Petro, 2 domestic violence calls, 1 driving under the influence, 5 drug arrests, 1 false alarm call, 3 felony cases, 13 incident offense reports taken. We drove 5,257.6 miles, wrote 6 non-traffic citations, 2 on view arrest, 1 other arrest, 32 outside agency assist, 2 traffic accidents, 37 traffic citations, 53 traffic stops, 2 warrants checked and served 3 warrants.
Any questions for the chief? All right.
Mr. Mayor, are you going to explain the communication grant or?
Oh, thank you. I want you to do that.
About a month and a half or so ago, I received notification that a communication grant was coming out. Applied for it through the Tuscaloosa County EMA. And the original grantor did not award the grant to us. About a week after the notification came out, I was told through the EMA that Alabama Homeland Security was going to fund the grant. It's somewhere between $45,000 and $48,000 for 6 portable radios. They had a couple of conditions. I contacted the manager at Allcom in Tuscaloosa, and he's assured me that all the conditions will be met. And he is getting that in writing for me to provide to the EMA. And hopefully within, I said next month, month and a half, we should have radios.
That's awesome work, Eddie. Congratulations, that's fantastic. Any questions for Eddie?
These radios, are these gonna be replacement radios, or, actually, I wasn't in the workshop, so pardon me if you are.
Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Department, as you know, dispatches for us.
Right.
For all the small towns, all towns, Tuscaloosa except Northport and Tuscaloosa. They will be upgrading their system within the next year to two. They are going to this type of radio that we're getting. It's a dual band, 700 megahertz radio. I was told that we were going to have to purchase our own this time. Last time they were purchased through federal Homeland Security grants that Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Department managed. This time I was told we were going to be on our own.
Okay.
So that's $48,000 for 6 portable radios, 45 to 48. Now I gotta work on one to replace all the car radios, which is gonna be about the same amount.
These radios, I remember in 8 or 9, when we got those last radios, there was a piece missing that was another $1,000 to make them work. You've checked on that? to
That's
make
the
sure?
encryption, and it's still gonna be the same way. For some reason, the way the original specs were written up for the grant to be submitted for us to apply for, it was written up without the encryption chips in them. So that's something else that we are going to have to deal with once radios are in service.
So even these radios are gonna have to require some type of additional chip?
Right.
Okay.
But it's, the old radios, they were $1,000 per radio. The radios themselves were $1,500 each for the portables. The encryption chip was $1,000. We still got 2 upstairs that have not been encrypted. We've never been able to use them. According to the manager at Allcom, he said it should be approximately $650 per radio to have the new ones encrypted. But there again, I'm also gonna be looking for
I'll
grants.
say, see if we can find a grant for that.
Yeah.
Any other questions for the chief? Thank you, Eddie, good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court?
We started off with $62,629.02. We deposited $8,250.64. We withdrew $49,671.71, and we have a balance of $21,207.95.
Any questions for Carol?
Thank you, Carol.
That was a big lot of money that we spent.
Yeah.
They had to pay the Tuscaloosa County.
Thank you, Carol. All right, town clerk.
In the general fund, we started out with $273,563.76. Paid out $31,818.18. Deposited $31,623.17. Balance of $273,368.75. And the savings, beginning and ending is the same, $252,793.08.
Thank you, Cheryl. Any questions for Cheryl? All right, thank you. Moving right along. Down to old and unfinished business. Sewage issue. Brad, have you heard anything from the health department?
I have not heard an update. Last thing I heard was that engineer Keith had submitted it directly to them.
Would you check on that tomorrow? That's, that they were so fast with their information last time. I can't imagine them having had it this long and not have an answer for us yet on whether it's possible.
Can I say something now, or do I need to wait It's my turn.
Just wait till a little bit later. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay.
Any other discussion on the sewage issue? All right, town attorney.
Can I make a motion that we hire Jim Standridge at $175 an hour, starting immediately?
Jim Standridge. 75 an hour. Mr. Standridge had an opportunity to help us with an issue recently, and it gave the entire council an opportunity to interact with him, and I'm pleased. I'm assuming you've talked to him and he said he would be interested in the job.
Correct.
Okay. I will second that motion.
Thank you, Paul.
Any other discussion? Okay, again, we're voting on whether to hire Jim Standridge as the Lakeview Town Attorney at a rate of $175 an hour, which is actually a very good rate.
Starting immediately.
Starting immediately, yes, let me add that. Roll call, please.
Tony,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Vivian,
Yes,
Brad,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
thank y'all.
That's huge, thank y'all. Oh, let's see, where's my list?
Now we're gonna jump over to,
Yep, jump over to your cheat sheet, everybody. Yeah, I got one. Well, we sort of just talked about the septic application status. Would you just, when you find something out tomorrow, yes, no, or indifferent, would you email us? Just so we all have information, one-way information, we shouldn't have a problem there.
And the next one, I'll explain that. The cost of replacing a septic system until you get back the application with the diagram from the health department, from the engineer's drawing, you can't even get bids. So there's not a magical cost. So until it is approved and you get the drawing, you can't even put it out for bid.
Okay, thank you.
and that sort of eliminates the third item that's on that.
Third item.
So it moves to the safe room.
I really do feel while we're still in the mode, when we find out what can be done, and we're coming right up here on Thanksgiving, if we can find a way to get all of us together before any of us leave town, I really think that a meeting would be in order when we get some information. I'm just waiting for a track hoe to drive through the middle of our septic tank. But we can make that decision on the fly as we go. Safe Room Project.
An update there that, again, that work is being held up until we make the decision about the septic versus sewer, because that will drive the decision as to where the safe room project will actually occur. So, has not really seen much action in the year since we started.
Has there been a door open for grant money yet?
Not that I'm aware of, and they're not ready to apply because our paperwork is,
I just didn't know if there had been any grant money we'd been missed out on. I didn't think so, but I was just asking.
I haven't heard of
And that's not a thing where we could apply and get that grant money and then wait 6 months to build it. They want to see it being built, and that's what I thought, you know. Okay. The due date on the town Visa card, we did get that changed. People who may wonder why we're even addressing that. Our meetings always fell just a couple of days late before we could approve making a payment on our Visa, and it resulted in a charge every month. So we called and got the due date changed.
When'd you get it changed to, Cheryl?
Last
The
day
end of
of
the month, the last week of the month.
Absolute last day. Task force.
Just an update there that we have not had a meeting yet, still would like to do that, just need to resolve some other issues before we move ahead with that. So those folks that volunteered, I will definitely still be calling on you.
Here's one you don't read every day. Request to keep chickens. Anybody got anything to add on that?
I think it was in September that the Parkers came and met with the council, and you asked them to give you the information, and don't know that as a council we have addressed their request in any way.
Well, I have talked to them on a number of occasions since then, and I have not found anything that is going to allow the council. I mean, we put these, the planning and zoning is in place to give expertise to that, and then we tried whatever the next level was that they attempted. I'm not sure that, I don't feel like it's our place really to try to go against what the people that are in that position to make those decisions recommended in the first place, to even try.
Well, as long as we have let them know that, I think we can put it to rest.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be on the docket anymore. It may come up from time to time, but
I think they need an official letter from the mayor's office that it is not going to be addressed.
I can take care of that for them.
Because until they get some kind of official letter, they're not gonna remove their chickens.
And I did, yeah, we'll talk after the meeting, I did take some steps to see what some of these other towns that they claimed were allowing them, and it just wasn't very satisfactory. Police vehicle repair.
I think when we met last month, we were just gonna tow that car back over here.
Now, where is it? I noticed it. Is it somewhere else?
It's still at Express Oil. I decided to hold off, I talked to them, there's no hurry to get it out of their parking lot. I thought I'd save the town the money on the tow bill, you're looking at $200-300. So, I'm hoping that y'all would decide to at least go ahead and repair it. We do need a backup unit.
I think that's another thing we need to talk about once we start our budgeting. See what.
The only thing I'm concerned about is we have an estimate here on something else, and on the bottom of their estimate, it says a storage fee of $30 a day may be applied to vehicles which are not claimed within 3 working days of notification of completion.
I talked to the manager over there, it's not a problem.
So, okay, we're not getting, I'm sure they're not gonna make us move it if we're gonna collect $30 a day off of us, so, okay.
What's the council's wish on that? Just to continue to let it sit there? Or what was the cost on those repairs? It was a huge amount, wasn't it?
I want to say around 1,700. I'm not sure.
I'm sure that car's worth 1,700.
I thought it was 2,100.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
Well, those are 05 vehicles.
Yeah,
So we tow it back.
We need to get it out from under.
I think we are to it now.
Cheryl, do we have any kind of towing on our auto policies? Okay, that may be something,
Yes, sir.
part of that be covered.
Let's, in the next 2 weeks, let's get it back down here. If you can
Yeah.
find a way to cut a deal to get somebody to help us out by towing it, that's great, but, we do want to go and get it down here.
Or find somebody would buy it and pick it up where it's at. If you're not gonna repair it,
Sell it right there.
Yeah.
Or find somebody with a tow truck and pull them over and tell them you're gonna give them a ticket if they don't know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Jail contract, number of days used to date. Who can give me that date, that number? Cheryl, do you know it by any chance?
I just know since Sunday.
Since Sunday, how many days?
Well, there's,
Three in there since, we had one in for 4 days, we had one in for 2 days, and one in there 1 day. So that would be 4, 5, 6, 7 days
Since,
yesterday, that I went down and released them.
okay, how often do you go release them?
Now it's probably two times a week, I make a trip down there for something.
Okay,
But it's like sporadic, like maybe next week I won't have to go, but maybe the week after that I may have to go 2 times, 1 time or 2 times.
well, if they've been in there 72 hours or more,
They go-
I want you to head down there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
As soon as I find out that they're in there, I've got a request to be put on an email list to let me know who we have in there, and they haven't put me on there yet.
are our officers still sending you text messages when they put somebody in jail?
Not all of them. They call me, I've got them where they, basically most of them call me.
So you are getting contacted?
Mhm.
Okay, at that point, start that 72 hours, don't,
Yeah.
we can't wait on Tuscaloosa to do what they're, may or may not do, I don't want to offend anybody, but because they're not paying that $55 a night, so, they're charging us the
I wish we could
$55.
get it back, but we couldn't get them about $20 for that back.
Yeah.
Out of
Well,
all of it, you know, if we put someone in for 1 day, 55, we could only get $20.
hey, $20, that,
4 days, we can only get $20.
you cover that out of a year, that adds up for some money. How much trouble what do you have to do to get that 20? Just add it to their fines?
No, we have to get, Cheryl, wouldn't we have to get it, wouldn't they have to go through them?
you have to call Susan and ask her.
You know?
Check on that.
So you can go and ask her, who's gonna ask you something? The judge sent down a blanket order, so if anybody's in there for 24 hours, to release them.
Okay.
So they haven't discussed any of that down there with that letter. I asked them where it went, and they said it went to the head guy, what is the head guy down there at the jail's name? Eddie?
He's one of the chiefs.
I can't remember his name, it's supposed to be on his desk.
It's 24 hours?
That's what the judge said, let them out after 24 hours. That way it won't be, basically.
That would have you going down there every day, though.
But if it's a blanket order, she don't have to go down there.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, who do I need to call to help get attention to that? Because that needs to be
I'll
done.
have to find out, let me call Monday and see if he's in, I'll find out his name. I don't remember the man's name, because I have only had.
Pull it on the,
Okay.
pull it on the
Yeah.
internet.
'Cause I'll tell Jeanette they're not acting
Contact
right.
with this man.
Okay. Because we'll sure call and make sure they do that. That's much better than the 72.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them sign out on their own recognizance.
Yeah.
So,
Do we need to adjust our contract to, I don't know, did we do
We're
365
already
days
on the
last
bigger.
time?
We're on-
And quarterly invoices.
Yeah, we took the smaller one last time. This time, they let us change.
Okay, we've already changed it.
Yeah, we
then.
changed
Okay.
it. It was our October meeting, and they let us backdate it to October 1, because that's when the year starts.
And quarterly invoices.
And they agreed to quarterly invoices. Y'all had asked for
That
that.
way we can keep up better with how many, okay.
Well, they've given us ways to keep up now. Woodstock, no, not Woodstock, Brookwood, Vance. There were several towns around here that had the same problem we had. They've taken different measures of correcting it, but I think what we're doing is gonna work, especially with the judge's order that's gonna, let the ones that can be out after 24 hours, let them go. All right, I've got new desks for clerks.
We tabled 3 items last month, the new desk for the clerks, the new phone system for the town hall, and the speech recognition software for the clerk. And again, until we get the budget approved, I'd like to continue to table those unless there's, if the phone system just absolutely is not working and we must repair it today.
I think it's okay right now.
Carol looks like she's got something.
Carol,
We brought this up before, I don't know if we brought it up in front of y'all, but moving me into this office to keep anybody from coming through this door. But that means you're gonna have to move my phone line, you're gonna have to move my cable. Cable should already be in there, because we had a computer in there and a phone line in there before. And let George have this room. That way I can just take the payments at the window.
we could move those, even if we had to move those cables, it's a whole lot cheaper than building another office up here in this room. That's
You see what I'm
brilliant.
saying?
Yep,
I think that's an excellent.
that's a great idea.
Just think about it and let me know, because
Now
I
move
got a
tomorrow.
lot of
Yeah,
contacts.
go and start boxing up.
Do it
Expect to be gone by Tuesday.
That's Chief Bailey of jail.
Chief Bailey.
Chief Bailey, okay. I know Chief Bailey, okay, very good.
But, if y'all would just think about it, because it would be easier, I mean, Cheryl would still have to have people come in to get permits. If she wants to come in, I mean, they sit down and go over stuff. But my probationers, I'd rather do it.
That's huge, yeah, that's, I mean, I never had like having that arrangement, that's.
Now,
that's
Up
good.
that's
and
a
down, up and
smaller,
down, up and down.
Carol, that's a smaller office. Will you be happy?
Hey, as long as I don't have to keep getting up and down and going and unlocking that door, I'll be happy that
Well,
way.
then let's do it.
We're gonna, and then there's some logistics I talked to you about, but that's certainly something we'll, prepare and present to the council for sure. That's a good idea. So many of these things, are being pushed back onto the budget. I will say, I have not been as helpful to, Annette, with the budget as either of us would have liked. But Annette is going through this budget in a way that it hasn't been gone through since I've been involved with the town. There's things that are in the wrong places, and they've just been allowed to stay there, and it's going to be a good, solid budget when that team is through with it. So, some of it's my fault, and some of it is just her diligence on doing such a good job. So, employee evaluations are proceeding, not as fast as I would like. We talked about some of them in there. There's certainly one coming up between now and Saturday. I will announce to everyone when those are complete. Next 21 forms, those are going to have to be resent to me. I've gone through every envelope in my office, and I'm assuming those are the forms that the documents that were from the records room that were being updated. Okay, yeah. And police policies and procedures manual. Do you have a copy of that handy, Eddie?
Yes.
Great. Who was wanting? You were wanting that?
It has not been approved or presented to the council. We are supposed to do that when we first take office. We need a copy, we need to approve it, and we would like to have a copy.
I'll discuss it with the mayor. There's a lot of procedural information in here that
Understood.
I'll have to disagree with you, because there's stuff in here that the public just does not need to be aware of. And personally, I just don't want to take a chance of it getting out in public hands.
Ms. Vivian, you said we're supposed to approve that when we take office.
That is correct.
I missed that. I missed that.
It's supposed to be approved and adopted for the town when the new council takes office. We have not been presented it.
Where's that written? Is that from state code?
That is from my schooling that I did in advanced training.
Is it in city policy though?
I do not know. I know it's with the League of Municipality.
Okay. We'll do some checking on that for sure. I have no qualms about the council reviewing it. My question would be, it deals with traffic stops and handcuffing and things that this council would be ignorant about. So I'm not sure that we would be the people to review that, but if we're required to do that, we'll be sure and track that down.
Actually, this policy and procedure manual was written 8 years ago and has been updated frequently since.
That's why it needs to
So
be
it was during the
approved
last council.
and adopted. That's exactly why it needs to be approved and adopted.
So that would have been the job of the last council to bring it up.
All right, that's enough with that. We will investigate that,
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Dean. Not really old business, but I want to read this right quick before, lest I forget it. Got a letter from the Lakeview Fire Protection District dated, we'll say it's dated today, but it doesn't have a date on it. Dear Mayor Calhoun, at this time, the Lakeview Fire Protection District does not have the proper equipment or the trained personnel to cut large trees off of roadways in our district. We do what we can to keep it a safe environment until Tuscaloosa County Road and Bridge Division arrives to remove the trees. When you see a tree down obstructing the roadway, please call 911. We're dispatched through the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office. The Lakeview Fire District will be glad to work with the town of Lakeview in all future endeavors to implement safety and improve our neighborhoods. It is signed Martha Sharp as President, Board of Directors, Lakeview Fire Protection District, and countersigned Mike Fisher, Vice President, Lakeview Fire Protection District. So, council members got any questions about that? I know that they used to cut trees, and there was a large one that fell this last week, and that letter stemmed from that event. I'll go in here. More to do, more to do. B, C, D. All right, we're on 9 now, aren't we? 8, sorry, 8. New business, yes, 2019 Severe Weather Preparedness Tax Holiday. We have that document here. And I have a resolution 75-11-08-18. A resolution declaring a severe weather preparedness tax holiday. Whereas the state of Alabama has enacted legislation allowing municipalities within the state to participate in a severe weather preparedness tax holiday. And whereas the town of Lakeview believes that participation in such a tax holiday will encourage the citizens of the town to make purchases that are free from taxes during this period and thus enhance their ability to be prepared for emergency weather situations that may present themselves during the upcoming years. And finding that the welfare and best interest of the community is served by participating in the tax holiday. It is therefore resolved as follows. 1. The town of Lakeview hereby declares that the 2019 Severe Weather Preparedness Tax Holiday begins at 12:01 a.m. on Friday, February 22nd, 2019, and ends at 12 midnight Sunday, February 24th, 2019. 2, that all qualified purchases made in anticipation of preparing for severe weather shall be exempt from all municipal taxes and such other taxes the Department of Revenue or the state of Alabama, as well as the Tuscaloosa and or Jefferson County, determine on and between said dates. This resolution shall be forwarded to the Alabama Department of Revenue by the clerk of this town so as to notify them that the town's decision to participate in the severe weather preparedness tax holiday.
I'll make a motion, we suspend from the normal order and accept this resolution on the first reading.
I'll second.
Jan, you got it?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Tony,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Vivian,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. Thank you.
And now I'll make the motion to accept the resolution of the preparedness tax holiday.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Tony,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Vivian,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. Thank you all, and thank you, Nancy, for making that happen on the first reading. And it's been signed, Cheryl.
Thank you.
I'll get there in a minute, y'all. Charge guard auto shut-off timer for the police department. Eddie, you want to, very simply, for some time, batteries have been being drained. Communicated with Tuscaloosa County because it seemed to be around the AVLs. We did determine that the AVLs that were installed last year, actually this year, were the culprit. They continue to drain the battery down if the car is not used frequently. And but there's a fairly simple device that they put on there that will prevent this. Eddie, you want to talk on it for just a minute?
Yes. As I said earlier in the workshop, Officer Cunningham came by one day, he'd been riding around most of the day, came inside, do a report, went back out to get in his car and leave, his battery was dead. I think on these newer cars, because of the new technology in them, along with what we've added as far as all the electronics we've put in and computers and everything else, it's draining those batteries more often, more frequent than on my car. I was off Monday because holiday, so I was off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I got back in my car Tuesday, my battery was dead. Had to jump it off. These units, you can set a timer on, everything's wired from them, except for the ability to crank the car. You set a timer on it anywhere from a few seconds to several hours. Once it hits that time, it shuts everything down in the car except the ability to crank it. We got a quote from Fleet Safety. They are the ones that did the upfit on the new Explorers. We were able to get the cost of the units down to $70. Their factory price is $99, but Fleet Safety wanted $210 to do an install per unit. Talked with Express Oil, where we're getting our service done on vehicles. They want $100 per unit.
Okay, so you're gonna buy the units from Dana Safety Supply at $70 each
Yes, ma'am.
for 4. That would be, where you go put it?
$280.
$280, and then $400 for installation for 4.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that'd be $680.
Right.
They got a $25 shipping fee. Obviously.
I talked to Brad the other day, or Chad rather, and he said he'd probably just deliver them to us, save us that fee.
Okay. So, I make a motion that we accept the Dana Safety Supply for 4 at $70 each. And I make a motion that we use Express Oil Change for installation at $400 for 4.
I'll second that. So we have a motion and second that we approve the purchase of the Havas Power Management System and have the installation done at the alternate location, their investment, Express Service Center. Any discussion?
My only concern is just not having a budget, not having a good financial picture of how much money we have.
I would agree completely with that. The budget's needed for sure. We just bought a battery that would have paid for 3 of these, and, which is not a good answer. I mean, but
Kind of afraid not to, it's like not
Yes.
having life insurance.
yeah.
You don't want to use it, but you sure want to have it.
And I've been jumping
I sell life insurance, by the way, to anybody that's interested. Do what? Eddie?
I've been jumping my car off for a while, that battery could go out at any time, so.
I still think we need to go ahead and purchase some, Eddie, Paul.
Any other discussion?
My only question is, has Express Oil Change installed these before?
That I'm not aware of. I asked them if they could, they pulled up the paperwork and everything on them, looked at the technical
The technical stuff?
bill for it, and they told me they could do it.
I did ask if having it done somewhere else would void the warranty. And he said as long as they are a certified mechanic, that the company would stand behind their product if Express put it in.
And they've got some good mechanics. so.
Yes, they do.
Now, Eddie, if a vehicle has one of these on it and somebody steals that vehicle and they go off, park the car, and we've set the thing to shut down after 30 minutes, if they're smart enough to not crank that car up, I mean, how are we gonna find them? Well, you and I will be able to see the last location that it was, and it's not gonna move any further unless they put it on something else. Answered my own question, thank you. All right, any other discussion? Again, to recap, this is to approve purchasing 4 of those charge guards and the installation. Roll call, please.
680.
Tony,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Vivian,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Personnel related motions, do you want to just take that time?
Sure. I'd like to make some motions that will make some changes primarily around the 3 clerks that work in this building. First motion, that the town of Lakeview employees who regularly work 32 hours or more per week are classified full-time with the benefits of other full-time employees.
You made the motion?
Yes.
I will second that.
All right, we have a motion in second. As I open it up for discussion, these motions they may be exactly what we need, but I would like to have some time to research them, speak with the people that they affect, and really soak in how they're going to change their working day and our responsibilities. So I would ask that each of these, I would rather each of these be moved to the next council meeting, so I have time to look at them.
Tony, do you know if these amounts or how much it's gonna change the payroll? Has the payroll been adjusted in the budget?
The only thing that's going to change is making them full-time is that they will accrue vacation time and sick days.
Which they should have been doing all along, according to the work ethics.
So right at this point, it's not gonna,
It doesn't change their hourly rate or the number of hours that they work.
Because that's what they work anyway.
okay, that's on that first one that you had shown me.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the one you got the motion on the table for.
Okay, there's a motion in second. Any other discussion? 32 hours, we know the ones that we're involved with. Regular work 32 hours or more per week are classified as full-time. So we would be saying 32 hours is now full-time.
Because we're only open 4 days a week.
It's okay. It happens.
Yes, the town hall is open 4 days a week. They're not given the option of working 40 hours a week, but they're the folks that are primarily manning this building and keeping it open.
Any other discussion? Okay. Roll call, please.
Tony,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Vivian,
Definitely.
Brad,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
The second motion is around the comp time that those folks currently have. The motion is that the town of Lakeview employees that are not exempt are going to be paid for all hours worked up to 40 hours per week, and that compensatory time will only be earned if they work in excess of 40 hours. So basically, they will, since they're accruing sick days and vacation days, they don't have to bank comp days. We just pay them for the number of hours that they work.
So right now, if they have comp time, if they don't use it within a month, 30 days, they lose it.
Well, the
And-
policy says they're supposed to be paid for it.
Correct. That's a correct procedure. So I agree. I will second the motion.
Any further discussion on the second motion? Everyone understand what we're voting on? Roll call, please.
Tony,
Yes,
Nancy,
Yes.
Vivian,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. I think this is particularly helpful when we have, it's primarily falling on Carol and Cheryl when they come in to open this building up, and we're paying with compensatory time. This gives them an opportunity to actually get paid for coming in here and having to unlock this building.
Us, Tony.
and working court nights. And
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, sure.
The next motion is, again, around the compensatory time, because I think all three of these clerks currently have compensatory time.
Mhm.
So the motion is that any compensatory time that these Town of Lakeview non-exempt employees have as of November 18th will roll into their vacation time accruals. So for example, if they currently have 18 hours of compensatory time, as of the beginning of the next pay period, now they have 18 hours of vacation time.
So November the 18th is the pay period start.
I believe so, yes.
Is that correct?
Our next pay period starts this Sunday.
Yeah, it starts Sunday.
So it is 18th. Thursday.
Yeah,
Not,
this
for
is a-
them not to lose anything.
Yeah, this is a good
Yeah.
thing for the employees for
Tony,
sure.
you made the motion?
Yes,
Yes.
it was in the form of a motion. Yes.
I'll second that.
All right. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Tony,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Vivian,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
These are good, Tony.
Thank you. And then the last one, beginning November 15th, 2018, so effective today, non-exempt Lakeview Town employees who work at Town Hall will be paid 8 straight hours when Town Hall is closed in observance of a holiday.
So they're not getting paid for holidays now?
No, because the part, they were considered part-time and weren't eligible for
Yes,
benefits. Mhm.
So yes, I will second that
Ac-
motion.
Actually, by us making the first motion, they now get that one automatically because it's in the book, full-time employees get paid.
But it
But we
says
can
beginning
certainly-
November 15th.
Certainly stated. What's that?
It says beginning November the 15th, which is today, so yes, we need to pass it.
My point is, certainly we can pass it. My discussion topic is passing the first motion, classifying them as full-time, makes them eligible for the 8 straight hours on a holiday, so they're gonna get that anyway, but let's do it. Why not?
Well, my clarification here is that it's only holidays for which they are losing a day of work. So for example, with the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, Thanksgiving falls on Thursday and Town Hall will be closed. So they would be getting 8 hours of straight pay.
That's right.
But the following day, the Thursday after,
We're closed anyway.
Friday,
Mhm.
we were closed anyway, so
Yep.
there would not be additional
Not being paid
compensation.
on that day.
And now they would be paid for Christmas and New Year's.
Any
We got
holiday-
7 holidays?
Any holidays that fall Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Any other discussion on this final motion? We do have a second, correct?
Yes.
All right. Roll call, please.
Tony,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Vivian,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Jan,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. Thank you. Good work right there.
That's very good. We've been needing this.
Reports of special committees and boards of council. P and Z.
Yes, we had a very good meeting last month. We discussed what we would like to see for Lakeview. We discussed growth by annexation. We discussed the master plan, subdivision, rules and regulation changes that need to be made, updating the P and Z book, and possibly having assistance from certified planners come in to help us out.
That sounds like a big meeting.
So it was very good. And we will be meeting Monday, the 26th at 7 o'clock.
Peggy's, may I address Peggy?
Absolutely.
I know that, with the sunshine law, that, you know, you can't meet when other, council members are present without, audience. But in a planning and zoning meeting, or a budget and finance meeting, or any other kind of committee meeting, can you not have more than one council person in the audience, even though you have 2 council people on the board? Now, I know the answer, but I'm just trying to see if anybody else will correct me if I'm wrong.
we have 3 council members.
You have 3 council members, so why could I not sit in the audience and not have a quorum? Because I'd make the 4th council person. I know the answer, but I want y'all to know.
Well, isn't to be illegal, don't you have to have the quorum and be deliberating?
Correct.
As long as you're not in the deliberations, you're not
So I can go.
participating.
That was my answer
Do I get a gold star for the
too.
day?
You sure do. You knew the correct answer. Thank you. Thank you.
I think the same thing applies to budget and finance. We've got 3 council
It does.
members on the committee, and anybody else that just came as an audience
Yep.
would be an issue.
I mean, it can happen at a funeral or any place, as long as you don't deliberate, you're okay. But we're subject to gather up at the same places, as long as we're not deliberating, we're okay.
Correct. But I wanted the audience to know the correct answer.
All right, thank you, Peggy.
You're welcome.
Budget and finance, I will speak to that. Again, the mayor's budget recommendation to the council is late because of the mayor primarily, but that is forthcoming, and I know the council is anxiously awaiting it. Going to be some big changes, some things that we've never asked the council to pay for before, and we're trying to find creative ways to get that done. So be kind and be patient, and it's coming. Any questions for me that I might be able to answer? Good.
Are we going to set up a special meeting with it anytime before the next council meeting?
I don't have a definite answer for you on that. It just depends on how quickly we can get it wrapped up. It is all but done, so it's possible. But we're also getting into holiday seasons when it's so hard to get all of us together, and I don't want to call when people are trying to get up with their families.
Well, Mayor, I know that we're supposed to have a report every 6 months, and we have not been getting one, so therefore maybe next year we can start doing things.
Get back in compliance?
Correct.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gus Board. All right. Police relations. No?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. How about the old activities committee?
Nothing at this time.
No activities at this time. All right, fantastic. All right. Well, at this time, it's public input, so public comments. So, as before, just stand up when you're recognized, tell us your name, your address. Sound like a broken record. And then You have a couple of minutes.
I'm already writing mine.
I would be really pleased if Mike would get us rolling.
I would-
Mr. Fisher.
Mike Fisher, Broadway Drive, what's going to thank Eddie for his services over on Broadway, he walked out. I've got to back up on a statement I made last month at the meeting. I agreed or verified that the septic plans for this was down at the health department. They wasn't. It was an honest mistake by the inspector I talked to down there, because he knows I've been involved with the fire department, septic system, and the country club, and this also some. And he just said there was something come across from Lakeview that day. And I didn't call down there just for that, it was another septic system I was talking about. Same way that I found out, because I was calling later on, I called about another septic system, and he backed up on his statement, and it wasn't the cities, it was the country clubs over here. But I just wanted to clear that with the council.
I say straighten him up.
Yeah.
Well, I
I say
say it's an
wrap him-
honest mistake.
I say, well, I'll take some silk screen and wrap him up with it.
Well,
Oh.
since it's the holidays.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Any questions on that? Okay. Ed, I just want to tell you, I appreciate you letting your officers come over on Broadway. I saw them all over on the weekend. I appreciate it.
One of them's been sitting in your driveway.
Y'all know it? As soon as they get one caught, they come back and do another.
Maybe they'll slow them down.
It hasn't yet, but it will keep on. I appreciate it, though.
Yes.
Always do over on Broadway. That's all. Kevin.
Thank you, thank you.
Slow them down when they're broke.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Dan Griffin, Eddie Drive. Couple things, we did have an open forum meeting last month that, Jan and the mayor were able to attend. It was unfortunately because of some short notice planning and availability of the church. It was on the same night as planning and zoning. We are planning on scheduling another one. I haven't got the date on that yet. I wanted to double check, make sure we don't have conflict this time, because I'd like to have more of the council there. Anybody who was in attendance or who has taken a look at what happened there, it was very open, even form discussion without any of the mudslinging and throwing that's been going on. So I think it was very good for the town. It'd be nice to see it happen again. To clarify a couple other things, Ms. Bean, you asked why Mr. Terry was at that meeting. He was there because he was specifically asked involving documents with rights of way and easements that he had knowledge of. So that's the reason why he was there, and he provided answers to questions involving those documents and what would be needed to be confirmed and whether or not they were important. So that was why he was there, was for a matter of expertise that he has working knowledge of. And just as a matter of record, to refresh your memory, you were in fact one of the yay votes to terminate Mr. Terry. You were here. Jan was not. And Paul and Brad were the no votes. Paul very vehemently opposed that motion, but you were in fact present. So
Yes, but I was not present at that special meeting where Mr. Terry was asked by the mayor to come to. That
true,
was-
but you
that
mentioned
was
that you were
why I
not
said I
part
was
of
not
either
there.
one.
Pardon me?
You mentioned that you were not part of either motion, so I just wanted to clarify that.
I don't believe I said that, sir.
That's
I
okay,
said-
it's on recording, you can
I
go
was
back and look.
not, I was not, at the special meeting where Mr. Terry was invited by the mayor to come to pay his bill.
Yeah, and you also said that you were not part of the vote to terminate.
No, I did not,
So,
because I was part of the vote.
That's okay, we'll just go back to recording and show that I'm correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan. Anybody else? All right, we will move right along into council comment, and we'll start with Jane.
thank everybody for coming and being very concerned with our town, and I want everybody to have a wonderful Thanksgiving, be safe in your travels where you may go, and I hope your family is safe as well.
Tony?
I'd like to comment on the bill situation and the bills that I have voted not to pay. I feel that as an elected official, I have a responsibility to spend town money wisely. And I've read several things in the Code of Alabama that say that it is not legal for me to use or to approve spending town money on things that were not approved by the council. So that sounds like there were people that were in the know that Mr. Terry would be coming to that workshop, but it was not a council member, wasn't me. I had no idea he was coming. Don't agree that he has the expertise that other people think that he has. My reasoning for not paying certain bills and voting for certain expenditures is because I feel like I'm doing my best to spend your money wisely. As far as those of you that came out in the weather, I appreciate it. It was nasty cold. Hope that you have great holidays, and look forward to seeing you back in December.
All right, Nancy.
In one of the meetings, we gave money to, a donation, I should say, to the FFA boys at Brookwood. And they volunteered to do some community service. I think maybe after the holidays, we need to make a conscious effort to take them up on their community service. But I don't think we need to do it during the holidays. So everybody just sort of keep in mind, maybe in sometime in January or February, we need to line up some community service for them. The other thing is, one of our members of the planning commission, Wayne Kelly, he had been talking to Commissioner Jerry Tingle about some no littering signs. And Jerry had told him that we just need to go down there and pick them up, or I guess we have to sign for them. I've been meaning to talk to Jerry, and I just haven't done it to find out exactly what has to be done. But I'm pretty sure an elected official needs to go down and sign for them, and verify that we do want the signs, the no littering signs, to be put up. I don't even know how many there is, but with the council's permission, I'll volunteer to go ahead and talk to Jerry and go down and sign for them if that's what has to be done. My understanding is there'll be free signs and the county will put them up for us, so we just need to have somebody go down there and sign for them, and I don't mind doing that with the council's approval. The next thing is, tonight we did vote to hire Mr. Standridge. I'd like to see us send him out an official letter saying that we are hiring him, and I'd like to see that done within the next 10 days. We may not be able to get to it next week because of Thanksgiving, but a phone call saying it's been done, but I think we also need to inform him in writing that we would like to employ his services.
Make that happen.
You mentioned the FFA guys. I'd love to have them come back in sometime and tell us about their trip.
was.
I'd love to have them come back in and go to Martindale Drive and rake some leaves. That's really what I'd like to have them do. Anything else, Nancy?
No, that's not.
Brad?
I don't have anything.
Vivian?
Yes, I want it clear on tape that I was here and I did vote yes to fire John Terry. I was not here at the special meeting that he was called by the mayor to attend. Okay, with that being said, I would need your prayers, please, for my daughter-in-law, Selena. She's 41 years old. She has type of cancer on stage 4 in her breast, her bone, and her liver. She's been through 5 chemos so far. She's got 2 sons, 15 and 9, a husband. And I need your prayers, because God does answer prayers for her to be healed. Thank
You
you.
said her name is Selena?
Selena,
And this is your daughter-in-law?
daughter-in-law, Selena Nelson Bean. And thank y'all for coming. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Even we all know somebody that has suffered with cancer, so my home will certainly be praying for Selena.
I'm a survivor. God is gracious.
Absolutely, I'm proof of that. Thank everybody for coming out on a night when you could be at home with your feet up and warm. Remind everybody that the next council meeting will be December 13th. We have a workshop before the council meeting as always. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Eat lots of turkey. Get fat and happy. And we'll come back and do it again. Motion to adjourn.
Do we need to make a motion for Nancy to sign anything?
I think she can handle that.
If
Go
you
down and
want it
get
in
that.
there, I'll make the motion to allow Nancy to do what she needs to do to get the no litter and
I'll
signs.
second that.
All right, motion is second. Take your time.
Tony?
No, I don't want to.
Yes. Vivian?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes, I good.
Brad?
Yes.
Jan?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes. Did you even write down what we were voting for?
For Nancy to go down there and sign whatever she's got to sign to get signs.
Yeah, I'm not even sure it requires a
Sign separate.
signature, it just may need a presence of saying, yes, we want it.
All right.
And then it was who seconded.
Motion.
Mayor, would you,
Hold up, folks, just a second. Who was our second on that?
I was.
Okay.
All right, and it passed.
Yeah.
Too many.
Motion to adjourn is on the
Wait a
table.
minute.
Second?
Will you get a hold of Standridge, please? as soon as
Yes,
possible?
we just talked about that, absolutely.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
absolutely. Motion is second to adjourn. Good night, everybody.